Ronald Acuna Jr. is out for the year.
Yeah.
He tore his left ACL on, what was this, Saturday night?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night.
Sunday night, not Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. My days are all messed up with this
Me
holiday
too.
thing today. So
Yeah,
Sunday
it's
night,
messed me
he
up.
tore, or Sunday's game, he tore his ACL, limped off the field. I think we were all hoping that it was kind of like, maybe he just like jammed it, right? Not that big of a deal, but no, he tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for the year.
Yeah.
Mind you, in 2021, he needed surgery on a right ACL that he tore about the same time of year. That one was a non-contact injury out in right field on the warning track. I believe he was going to make a catch, and it just didn't work out for him. The Braves currently, as of Sunday, are 30-20, 6 back in their division, but it's not going well. It's
Not going
shocking.
well at all.
30-20.
No, it seems like it's a
So,
nightmare situation last few days. I mean,
yeah. So,
notwithstanding Acuna's injury.
do you think the Braves are in legitimate trouble now, or is this just kind of like one thing on top of another?
I think it's stacking. I think it's one thing on top of another, but I do think that they need to stop the bleeding. This is not anybody's fault, this Acuna injury thing. I think nobody
Okay.
could have seen this coming. This is you can't really add this to the list other than of misfortune. But it's just it doesn't help. You talk about what is this going to do in the clubhouse? How's this going to throw the dynamic out of whack? Who are they going to get to platoon around? Do they feel confident in that? I don't know. Because Kelnick is already playing full-time left. And then is it Michael Harris II that's already stationed full-time center field these days?
So Kelnick and Duvall were supposed to be platooning. Have they not been doing that? Like I think they were, because Duvall came in to pinch hit for him when we were at the game on Monday.
Right, but I'm saying now if you have Acuna out, don't you have to move Duvall to right? And then what are you going to
I
do?
would think
Do you have
so.
any depth now?
Well, I mean, they could do what they did in 2021 and go out and get some guys and go win the World Series.
Yeah, they
Because
could. Maybe
they
use their rabbit's foot.
weren't they under 500 at the All-Star break or close to
Honestly,
it?
I don't remember, but I remember thinking that the turn of events made no sense. Like looking back on it.
It was bizarre because it got to a point where it was like, wow, okay, the Braves are toast. But then all of a sudden they weren't anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to check real quick because I can't remember for sure. But first half, they were 40-45 in the first half of the 2021 season. And they went
There
on
you
a
go.
tear with 44-28. So
Maybe, I hate to say it. I don't want to jinx anybody, but that would be interesting if the dude going down was the secret sauce. That sucks. Just thinking about that's terrible. But Acuna's final stats on the season now are 49 games total, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, and 16 stolen bases. Just a cursory overview of what he's done. That's just not enough.
coming
We
off of
wanted a lot
his
more.
MVP season. Well, so in 2021 actually played 82 games.
Okay.
So it was a little
I knew it was
after.
more.
Yeah, it was a little after this that he got injured last time.
Yeah.
And then he had 24 homers, and anyway. So
Yeah.
and the thing is too is that he was off to a rough start so far this year too. I'm not saying that it's like kind of a relief, but because you never want that dude to go down, right?
No,
Like
never.
I shouldn't even say it that way anyway. But so
Just
I
glad
thought
we
this
got
is
to see him
interesting.
play.
You what?
I'm just glad we got to see him play.
Yeah, me too. At this point, absolutely, most
Like
definitely.
that. How fortunate.
So I thought this was interesting because I'm always curious about guys who tend to get injured a lot or
Mhm.
re-injure, things like that. So I have a buddy who is in sports medicine. He is a doctor,
Doctor.
and Dr. Johnson is his name. So he said there's a 30% possibility of tearing the opposite ACL after reconstruction on a torn ACL. So, and that's up to 30%. They don't know why.
Mm.
They're not sure.
Mm.
He's like, there's not a whole lot of research as to why, because people don't really care that much as to why a person will tear their opposite ACL after they've torn their one, but up to a 30% chance. That to me is like, that's crazy that it's even that high.
Right. And the fact that we don't know anymore because it's not interesting enough to spend money on is also really interesting.
Although I think it's fascinating, but
I think so, because the easy answer is, well, he's compensating, right? Clearly, there's extra strain being placed upon the other joint due to the, you know, limited strength and capability, even cognitively, right? Even mentally, you're like, I don't trust it like I used
well,
to,
they talk
right?
about that with quarterbacks a lot. That
Yeah,
when they come back from an injury, it's like, okay, especially like an arm, it's like, well, or like a lower
just
body,
cheating a little
whatever.
bit
Like,
this way, and
yeah, I feel like a quarterback with like a knee, they're like, well, he's not pushing off his back leg as much, stuff
yeah,
like that. But I don't
yeah.
think that's the case with Acuna. He stole 70 plus bags last year.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm just saying, like, it is interesting because there is no evidence to support the fact that he was cheating one side or the other, or that he was,
yeah,
in any way encumbered mentally or otherwise.
yeah, I agree. It is interesting.
Poor
So
guy. Sorry, Braves
we both
fans.
wish him we both wish him a speedy recovery, and that he comes back next year and steals 70 bags again.